Welcome to our coverage of ASUG Annual Conference and Sapphire Now 2014. We are in the ASUG News Studio, which is sponsored by NTT Data. And we're here, we're going to be talking about the keynote from Hasso Plattner, Clay Christensen, as well as Bernd Leukert. And then we'll be talking about some news today that we're going to be around the Fiori announcement from yesterday. So joined here in the studio by Jeff Scott. Jeff is the CEO. Afternoon, good to see you again. Josh Greenbaum as well, a prominent analyst, SAP watcher, and digs up some trouble every now and then.
Try.
And Yad Oren from SAP, welcome in.
Happy to be here.
And back again, Sunit. Great to have you back here. You hosted yesterday, I took it back from you, I'm not going to give it back. So we just got done with the keynote. I took the over on 2 hours and I was right with the keynote. Jeff, let's go to you. What was your initial reaction from the keynote today?
I thought the conversation about disruption was really interesting, and to have Hasso talk about that and Clay. I thought the thought of the graph about people innovating beyond what companies can consume was a very interesting and thought-provoking conversation. And the piece I took out of it today that I had never really thought about was the conversation around data migration, right? And if you're on a HANA platform where you've really compressed that data down to sub-terabytes from multiple terabytes, your entire migration time is cut by multiples. And what used to take multiple days over a holiday weekend to do a migration, you can now do in hours versus days. And I hadn't really thought about all that complexity being eliminated in a simple migration. That was very good to think about as well. So overall, I thought Hasso and Clay did a wonderful job of talking about those topics.
Great. Josh, what would you add?
I enjoyed the conversation about aggregates, and I think they started digging into why that's important, why if you take away the aggregate concept, you're really able to do the kind of modeling, the complex modeling, you're not locked into the model that the data created for you. And effectively, when Clay went on and said, hey, let's look at this from a business standpoint as well, we're sort of aggregating conceptually the customer in a way that's limiting, and we don't necessarily know the way we are limited. I think one of the customers today, I think it was ConAgra, said, you got to get in there and sort of break out of the mold and see what you never thought of before. And that's one of the brilliant things about modeling and simulation that you can now do with something, with HANA as your platform.
And the discussion of the organizational hierarchy, right, and the thought of people in boxes, and those boxes are very, very structured, and it's difficult to break those boxes down, and really talking about dynamic organizations built on skills and competencies versus people put in boxes in a pyramid type structure was a very compelling dialogue as well.
Yeah, and I think the takeaway really is, we can free our organizations, we can free our minds really to start looking at what we're doing with data, what we're doing with business, what we're doing with customers at this very fundamental level, and do some very, very new things that weren't thought of before.
One of the things that I thought was an important takeaway as well from Hasso's keynote was pretty much his summary question of Clay at the very end, when he asked him, do you think we have been able to circumvent or get around the innovator's dilemma? Because that has been, I think, at the center of Hasso's thinking for a while. In fact, that has been SAP's thinking, that how do we do that for a company that is mature? How do we innovate and bring about that disruption? And I think today's discussion sort of put that in the right context and showed that we indeed are making some progress there. Perhaps we are beating the odds, so we'll see. But I think it was a confirmation.
If your customers are able to do that, that's good.
Yes.
Independent of whether you're doing it.
Well, we have to start doing it first
Right.
before we can enable our customers, right?
So Fiori's obviously been a big topic this week. Yad, you want to talk a little bit about the news that is coming out today?
Yeah, so I think one of the two main points we are taking away from the keynotes is the simplification, which is becoming imperative, and the second one is exactly the Fiori announcement, which is now being included. We want all of our customers to enjoy from the Fiori UX paradigm. And one of the main things that we announced as well is also how we bring the simplification into the design term world, because customer tells me, hey Yad, I like the hundreds of your application bring us, but I want a simple way to build my own application. I want also to extend the application. So one of the tools we released in this announcement is called SAP River Rapid Development Environment, and this comes to bring simplification to this exact issue, how you create and extend your application yourself.
So ASUG members, how do they get this right now?
It's a very good question. So today we release it as a beta version, and you can just go to HANA Marketplace and you will see a banner, and you can try it for free and test it as a beta and just enjoy it and see the simplified process, the many wizard, the templates we are offering our customer, and customer can practically build their own Fiori application and extend them, which is very exciting. So this one available today on HANA Marketplace as a beta. Down the road in Q3, we're going to release the RTC, the general availability of the product, which will be included as part of the HANA Cloud Pack offering. It's very important to stress that this is a browser-based development, but you can connect to any backend. So you can develop on ABAP, you can develop on HANA, but you are accessing it through HANA Marketplace, through the HANA Cloud Platform offering.
Well, just to elaborate a little bit on what Yad said, what is available today on the HANA Marketplace is available for anybody, anywhere, off the street, literally. Right. That's what he meant by it's freely available to all. Mm-hmm. Later on, it is obviously only available to SAP customers who have obviously licensed something on the HANA Cloud Platform. But there would be no separate additional charge for this offering. Keeping in line with our approach for all Fiori as well, as we heard Bill McDermott say yesterday, that going forward, it's part of what customers have already paid for.
So is this a tool only available in the HANA Enterprise Cloud?
Not the HANA Enterprise Cloud, it is part of the HANA Cloud Platform, and
okay.
It is available, like we said, in the beta version right now from the HANA Marketplace, and we foresee that even the generally available product will be made available that way to SAP customers.
But this is a very good point, because also if you go back to Bill keynotes, the simplification and all the innovation we are bringing is powered by HANA Cloud.
Yep.
So this is the vessel that gives us the very exciting opportunity as a development organization to keep pushing innovation to our customer with no disruption, no need to install anything. And this is available on HANA Cloud Platform. And this is the great power that allows us to simplify and keep innovate. And as Aso said today in the keynote, the cloud platform is superior to any on-premise installation, and we are getting toward cloud development, and the market is riding there, and we already have many customers in the early adoption program really enjoying and leveraging this power, mentioned by Bill and Hasso actually.
So a question that was asked of us earlier, not on stage or not, privately by some other customers and others who are trying it right now, was if I download this from the, or if I access it via the cloud, can I only use it for cloud apps? And the answer is no. That is the access mechanism. That is about how we provision. That's our going forward strategy, making it easy for people to get to it. But obviously, you could, work with applications that might be on-premise or cloud apps. Doesn't matter.
Cool.
Exactly. Jeff, I'm going to give you the last word, not just because you're my boss, but I'd like to.
Oh, I was going to get the last word.
The whole Fiori kind of debate seems. Do you think it's settled now? You've been a part of this. You've been in discussions with SAP. ASUG has tried to extend the influence on this debate. Do you feel good coming out of here? What's happened?
I think it's a great opportunity for our member companies and for all SAP customers to be able to modernize the user interface, to give their end users an opportunity to enjoy an interface that's consistent with what they're used to on their mobile devices today. So I think from that perspective, it's a fantastic announcement from SAP yesterday. I think the next challenge for all of us is to take the Fiori software, download it, and start putting it to productive use. And that'll be our next frontier within ASUG, is to create user communities around that to make sure that we give everyone the appropriate support and opportunities to use the software to its best capabilities.
Great. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for coming by.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
to talk
you.
to you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. For more SAP stories, please go to asugnews.com.